Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, I can't remember if I did an episode like this before, but if I did, I'm gonna just talk on it again because I don't know. Like, I would go check. I'm just being lazy at this point. Like, I should go check and see, but I can't even begin to think of a name that I would have titled it and stuff. So I'm gonna just say, for this episode's sake, that yeah, I just don't remember talking about this. I feel like I have, but I don't know. Like, because the thing is this, I don't want to check, and then I don't find it, and then I just, or on some stuff where it's like I check but don't find it, but it actually does exist, so I'm just going to do it anyways. But anyways, no, I wanted to talk on gaming. I wanted to talk on, because I was talking about this earlier, and I've been thinking about it for a while now. So maybe I tried to talk about it, but I didn't go through with the episode. I don't know. But anyways, no, I wanted to talk on how gaming is different now than it was like when we were in like elementary and stuff, when the only thing that we had to focus on was like PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube. I don't think, because the Nintendo Wii, it seemed like it came out during the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, that era and all that stuff. But even then, it was like games didn't really seem like, even back in the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 in that era of gaming, it didn't even really seem like that games were changing. Not even so much as changing, but like there wasn't so many updates that, needed to come with the video game. Like, I feel like if there was, because I'm trying to think, I think Xbox 360s and PlayStation 3s, like, games were updating. I'm trying to think. I don't think I did update any games when I had my PlayStation 3, so I don't think. But I was still buying like PlayStation 2 games at the time because it was cheaper, So, but anyways, like, I don't remember buying a whole lot of games that required updates and stuff. Like, I feel like if they did have updates, it was like, once a year for every video game. Like, other than that, nowadays you will see a video game have like 2 updates in a day, and it'll be like petty updates, like megabytes or something, and then with like some of those bigger games, they may have like a 1 gigabyte update or a 2 gigabyte. Or it'll be on some stuff where it's kind of like Cyberpunk, where it'll have like a 60 plus gigabyte update. And yeah, it's crazy how you can see a game get released today and it's like halfway made. Like, it ain't even a full released video game. It's just a halfway released video or halfway made game where it's like, oh, well, we don't want to work on those bugs. We want to just put the game out and make as much money as we can. So in case if the game bombs and it doesn't, or it doesn't do as good, well, we made all of our money. And that's why I encourage a lot of people, go out, buy you a gaming BC. Yeah, a BC, if that even exists. But no, go out and don't get a BC. Get you a PC. Get you a gaming PC of a higher, like, quality gaming PC. And buy your games off of like Steam. Epic Games, I think, does refunds. I haven't done a refund yet on my Xbox, but I really haven't bought no games off of my Xbox account on my PC, because now they have it where you can, it's more so like the Game Pass games. I think they do have it where there's like some games that you own that you can play on PC on there, but it's more so like the Xbox Game Pass games that I'm playing. Because I haven't really bought nothing off of there. But anyways, but no, like, when you look at games back in the PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, if you look at games in that era, for one, it was like you had a team. I feel like you had a team working on PlayStation games and you had a team working on Xbox games. Now, they might have had it where games were like, people were working on both games like at the same time, and they might just was like, okay, let's just copy and paste this onto the Xbox disc, from the PlayStation disc, and so on and so on. But the one thing though that they made sure of, that the game was fixed. There was no bugs. If there were bugs, it was like, okay, it's like little, kind of like with Grand Theft Auto 4, how they had that swing set glitch, where it's like you drive up on this swing set and your car goes flying across the the map and things. Like, Stuff like that, that's chill, that's cool, I'm fine with that, because it's stuff that we can laugh about. Like, I remember when I found out about that glitch, and me and my friends, we were cracking up about it, because I remember there was one time with me and my friends, we wasn't even doing, because I'm trying to think, on the online mode in Grand Theft Auto 4, they didn't really have like missions. Me and my friends was just driving around shooting at each other and stuff like crazy, right? And then we see each other the next day at school and we be dabbing each other up. Like, it's crazy, like how in video games, like, we would not hesitate to kill each other, but in real life, like, no, best of friends. But anyways, yeah, we would just drive around, shoot at each other. But there was one day I remember we were just at that swing set, just seeing how far we can take our car and stuff. And it was funny. It's things like that where it's funny, it's cool. But it seems like now, today, with games, like, for an example, the one video game, Anthem. Like, if we're gonna talk on a game like not working properly when it released, let's talk on Anthem. Let's talk on Batman Arkham Knight, Cyberpunk 2077. What are some other games that released and it just had like horrible releases and stuff? And it's because these high-end companies, they think like, oh, okay, well, the selling point is going to be us. Because Batman Arkham Knight, they had Warner Brothers. Cyberpunk, it was just a game I didn't realize like how long that game has been in development, or how long that game's been talked about, because I think I looked and seen a trailer from like 2013. Let me just look up real quick, because I seen a trailer from like 2013 of that game, and I'm like, you mean to tell me this game had been getting worked on for that long and it still came out bad? Like, nah, that's not good, man. That is not good at all. So 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 1 year ago, 3 years ago, 1 year, 9 years ago, teaser trailer, and it looked like it was just, 2013. So you mean to tell me that you guys had brought up this game into everybody's life in 2013? So you had that year, because it was in the beginning, it was January 2013, so I'd imagine that they were kind of probably working on that game in 2012, right? Or at least was, kind of just starting it off and things, like, we created the file. So like well, okay, we're not going to include 2012. Maybe it was just something that they thought of in the beginning of 2013. But anyways, 2013, 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 8 years, okay, it took you guys to work and release this game. And you mean to tell me that it still came out bad? I guarantee and I promise you, if this would have been back in like the PlayStation 2 or Xbox era, that company was shut down. I think a lot of people knew that back then, that if you come out with that, you have a one time to release this game. You can't like, oh, let's pull the games off the shelves and then put them back on shelves. Because the thing is this, if you go and tell people that, right? Like, you tell people that it's like, hey, our game is messing up right now, because like the internet and all that stuff wasn't really popular back then and things, right? So anyways, but like, let's just, well, I mean, no, it was like during the PlayStation 2 era and stuff, but like, I don't think gamers were really like looking online and stuff. Like, they probably go in like Game Informer magazine, or had to like go up to GameStops or the store and be all like, hey, my game is not working, and then people will have to like watch the news to see what was going on, or like figure out their information somehow, some way, right? So if the game were to, like they messed up, developers are all like, hey, we gotta take these games back, and, we'll put the games back on shelves. They made the money that they already needed to make. So, like, if you're all like, oh, okay, well, there's gonna be some stores out there that's probably like, oh, well, we don't have, like, a proper refund policy. For an example, GameStops ain't, because I'll never forget, there was a video that I watched of this guy, and he was prank calling GameStops. But that was one thing that I picked up, and I've kept that information with me, for life. But the thing is if you get a video game that's still wrapped up in the package, I think it's not even that anymore. I think it's just if the sale is finalized with GameStops. And let's say, for an example, like, so you buy Cyberpunk 2077, right? You buy it full price, $59.99. plus tax wherever you're from and stuff. So you buy the game full price and you take it home, but you haven't taken it out the package yet. Or maybe let's say, well, I know in this or in that GameStop's prank call video, the guy say, if you take the game out the package, then it reduces the resale value to $30. So it still has to be in the package. And I'm trying to think, and I think the only way, at least in GameStop's, the times when I've been in there, they always would tell you that the used games, you could get a refund for it. But for the new games, you can't get a refund for it. You can trade it back in, but yeah, it's still, it's once when the sale is finalized, then it pretty much loses like $20 of its value. So you'll get like a $30 credit or something. And I guess maybe nowadays it might be slightly different. They probably did go up in price with the, resale value and stuff with the game. But at the same time, it's like, bruh, no, like I don't want to buy a game and then the game's not working properly. Now going back to like the PlayStation 2, Xbox, that era and stuff, I don't want to buy a game and it ain't working properly and I don't get my money back. So imagine if these games that's being released today were coming out back then. I guarantee and I promise you, EA wouldn't be the company that it is today. 2K wouldn't be the company that it is today. Rockstar Games wouldn't be the company that it is today. If you're having to come out with update after update after update to continue, and that's the one thing where I feel like that with Grand Theft Auto, talking on that game real quick, what made that game so fun back then were the cheat codes, whereas it was the gameplay, all that stuff. You can play Grand Theft Auto back then, single player, no issues about it. That's what made Grand Theft Auto into what it is today. And I feel like that they didn't even really focus on the single player. I mean, yeah, they did focus on multiplayer, don't get me wrong. Multiplayer had a good thing going and stuff, but I think a lot of people would have liked to seen some more DLCs get added to the single player mode. And what all they wanted to do is like, oh, well, let's come out with this patch stopping people from making this amount of money for this mission. Like, I'll never forget when Grand Theft Auto 5, not when the game itself had released, but when multiplayer had came out. And me and my friends, we were doing like missions to try to accumulate as much money as we could because they got like $5 million cars and we're only getting $10,000 a mission. So we were just like continuously doing missions and then they reduced. Well, no, I think it was actually more. I think like now it's like, yeah, you get like $10,000 for a mission. But I think back then you was getting like quite a few, some money and things when you did a mission. But then they patched that. So then people were doing these glitches and stuff where it's like, oh, if you go in this garage, tap these buttons, and then you duplicate your car and you can sell that car and then, get all this money. They will patch that. Then somebody's like, oh, if you go and buy these 2 tattoos and stuff, you get this certain amount of money. Then they patch that. And you guys was patching everything. Now imagine if they did that with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas where they was like, oh, well, the infinite health cheat code has been patched. Or the like the cheat where you would get like $250,000, all the weapons, ammo, and all those other different like things, like, or just at least they're just going down the line of each cheat code saying this cheat code has been patched, this cheat code has been patched. Grand Theft Auto would not be successful like it is today. I personally don't think they would be. I don't think the Madden games would be good because I feel like, at first when they came out with it, it was like that something like, I don't know how many bits it were, but it was like, it was a certain amount of bits. And then eventually they changed it to where it was like 3D graphics. And then they had it where you could kind of see the players' faces and things. And then they had it where the audience was there. So back then it was like they would change something, every time with like those Madden games. Because like I remember playing Madden NFL 07 and then was playing like the other Maddens. And it kind of seemed like that they were kind of going backwards with the games. Because I remember Madden NFL 07. That was like that was my first Madden. That was one of my favorite Maddens. That's like the Madden where I'm like, that's the high standard when it comes to Madden games. Now, why don't you guys have that today? It seems like that 2K kind of like picked up from that Madden, and I'm going to get to 2K in a minute and, talking about them and stuff, but it seems like 2K had picked up from that Madden and then was like, oh, well, let's kind of have that, like, that playbook, but with our game. Now, let's get into 2K. All the issues that it's having and stuff. All the problems that whole, like, like the currency, the in-game currency, I feel like that it would be not where it's at, where it's like, okay, well, let's charge play or the people that's playing the game, let's have it where they gotta pay 10,000 coins just to get themselves a pair of Jordans in there, or however many coins you gotta. No, bruh. They should. The thing is this, I feel like the season pass stuff, all these things that they're coming out with video games, like the not crypto, not is it, no, it's not called crypto. Cryptocurrency is like the, no, well, it's just, I think, well, it's like in-game currency. What is cryptocurrency? No, let me look that up. That's like the freaking the NFTs and stuff, right? Crypto, wait, how do you spell crypto? Cryptocurrency. Okay, let's see. What is that? What is cryptocurrency? Crypto is a class of digital assets created using cryptographic techniques that enable people to buy, sell, trade them securely. Unlike traditional fiat currency controlled by national governments, cryptocurrencies can circulate without monetary. They ain't got nothing to do with 2K or anything else I was talking about. So, but anyways. No, but like the in-game currency, all that extra stuff, like that doesn't make the game into what it is today. I feel like that they make like their sales from that, like Grand Theft Auto, 2K, Madden, because back then when you like would play a game, like if you were to play, like if you played a game, all the players came with the game. And that's why I think, like, you know, how is it that you guys upgrade the prices of the game but you give us less? You see what I'm saying? Like, back then, you would pay, like, $49.99 for the newest Grand Theft Auto. It came with all the missions. It came with all the weapons. It came with everything, you know, that needs to come with the game. Same with Madden. It came with all the football players. It came with, you know, whatever it is that you want. But I feel like what it is that you guys feel like that, oh, because we changed the game around to where, oh, now we added Ultimate Team and stuff. Now the price of it has to, and you know, that makes sense. But how is like pretty much like not even a bank, how can I describe it, like on the in-game currency, how is adding a way of you guys getting money, how does that make the value of the video game go up by giving you guys more money? If anything, it should be less. And that's like one thing that I've always have talked about, where it's like games will be so quick to like, and that's one thing that I never understood, you know, where I feel like people abuse that power. For an example, the video game Destiny 2. They're like, oh, well, let's make the game free, but let's have it where every time a DLC comes out, it's pretty much the price of a brand new video game. At least with like the deluxe edition, where you get like a gun that's not even gonna be all that good. And it's not like it's the highest, you know, ranking gun in the whole game. No, it's like the pre-order gun that you get. It's like, oh, pre-order this, get this little pistol that comes. And I'm like, no, bro. It's like that comes with the game. I need to finish out that sentence. I'm like, if I didn't finish out that sentence, that'd been weird. People have been like, wait, what you mean by that? There's pistols that do what in that game? No. All right, hear me out. So, but anyways. No, it's like, I don't like that. I don't like how Destiny is operated. I mean, I'll play it, but like, I don't like how they go about their business. I'm saying, like, when you look at Destiny 1, when it came out, they came with all this stuff. I feel like that was like one of the like last few final games that was actually, you know, for the fans, right? So Destiny 1 comes out. For those that wasn't there when Destiny 1 came out, I was there. I seen it. I seen the whole thing when that game came out. Destiny 1 releases, right? It came with the like Vault of Glass, and that was like a raid in there. It came with these maps. It came with everything possible that you needed for the game, right? It came with missions, all that stuff. Another DLC comes out with more. So I like how it's with the DLCs. I'm cool with DLCs. I do not mind DLCs because I know that I'm getting everything that I need. That's like how it was like with Call of Duty and what are some other games? Battlefield Battlefield had like, and then at some point in time they'll be all like, oh, game of the year or the full edition or complete edition, whatever. Because like I remember when Grand Theft Auto 4 did that, because they came out with a DLC and it was that the Lost and Damned, that biker DLC, and then the Ballad of Gay Tony. Then that was the second DLC, and then they eventually released it where it was like all compiled up together, like, you know, in one game and stuff. So that was chill. I do like that, but I don't like the fact where it's like if they're like, oh well, let's make Grand Theft Auto free, and every time we're not focused on the real issues with the game, we're not listening to what the fans actually want from that game. No, we're just gonna release whatever DLC that we want to release and have it where people gotta pay for stuff in there. So what they're doing in Grand Theft Auto, for those that don't know, so they'll add a new car in there, right? Like that's like, you know, part of the DLC. So they'll have it in some way, somehow, where you gonna have to pay for something out of pocket unless you want to sit down, grind all these hours. And that's the thing where it's like people you had to have it where the fans had to make the game fun again. But no, so what they did was they'll have it where it's like maybe not even missions. It's like, it's just like, maybe I'm trying to think, like they would add missions, but it ain't like, it's like what, maybe one mission or like little mini missions leading up to the big mission and things. But back then it was like if you were getting a game with in the DLCs were like extra missions, you was getting a bunch of missions, and that's how it was with Destiny at one point. And then switching back to Grand Theft Auto, so what they'll do is have it where it's like they'll put out these like halfway made missions, and then you got either do like you know, just grinding them, whatever it is. But the real thing that you'll end up coming across is a car in that game, and they're all like, oh, slightly faster than the car that was previously the fastest car in the game. So you're all like, oh, well, I want that. They're going to have it where the game costs $15 million. So you do that mission, you're going to end the new mission. So let's say the payout of that mission is like $1 million, right? You're going to have to play that mission 15 times, all right, back to back. And you're going to have to play it 15 times over and over and over again, grinding the game. Now, I know some people may overall like that. That's chill. That's fine. I do not mind that. But why not just have missions that have good payouts, and then eventually when I get to that final part of the mission, then I could just go and buy that car, right? And I'm thinking, that's what I honestly think, where it's like Rockstar Games is probably all like, oh, well, after that, then people ain't going to want to play the game. Look at how long people were playing Grand Theft Auto 3. Look at how long people was playing Vice Cities. Look at how long people loved, and still to this day love, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Where you have, I see there is this guy on TikTok, that's literally what his content is. A game that came out almost 20 years ago. In 2 years. 20 years. 2024. This game came out in 2004. And you mean to tell me this man is still playing it almost 20 years later? I'm saying, it's like you can't tell people that, like, because I honestly feel like that they're thinking along the lines like, oh, well, people didn't like those games. People still play those games till this day. And then that's when people are all like, oh, well, what about those remastered? No, not those remastered Grand Theft Autos that they came out with. I would have rather played with the old graphic Grand Theft Autos than to play off of that new one, because I was like, that new one, you can tell that they didn't put a whole lot of focus into it. It was like, my thing is this. There was a Mafia, the Mafia games, when those games had got remastered. Now, that's when I see like the original Mafia games and then look at those remastered ones. That's what a remastered game looks like to me. Or what are some other games where they've came out with remastered versions, and it's like it's the same story, but it's like the graphics look 10 times more amazing. And it just seemed like with Grand Theft Auto, it was like with the remastered edition, it just looked like they might have slightly turned the brightness up in the game and made things look more, I guess, colorful or something. But it doesn't even really look like the traditional Grand Theft Auto game. It looked like if somebody, like if a developer said, hey, I can make Grand Theft Auto, you know, like word for word, graphic for graphic, car for car, building for building. You could do all these different, they did all these different things and remake Grand Theft Auto. It looked like it was like an indie developer did it. Because I'm like, you mean to tell me you guys came out with Red Dead Redemption 2, probably, in my opinion, the most graphical like game out there. That game, I did the short time I had played that game, Red Dead Redemption 2, even Red Dead Redemption 1, but the short time where I had played that game, Red Dead Redemption 2, I was like, fam, it looks like a real life Western, thing. It's amazing. Like, this is dope. This is some crazy stuff. How good it looks. I'm trying to think. I remember when Call of Duty, when they came, I never played the original Modern Warfare. And Modern Warfare 2, I played it, but it was like, it wasn't much of a difference. So I think they just overall released it just to release it, about like, hey, if you guys want some extra trophies or points or whatever for whatever console you're playing off of and stuff, it's like, here you go and things. But it was like, it's like you stick to what you guys had previously before, maybe make things look a little bit more defined, make things look a little bit nicer, but don't go backwards. Like, so it was funny because when Grand Theft Auto, when they came out with the trilogy remastered, and there was a character in San Andreas where, like, in the original San Andreas, when it originally released back in 2004, it's what you would expect a 2004 video game character to look like, right? Why is it that when they came out with the remastered version, she looked worse? I'm like, dang, you have been gone for almost like 18 years and you look worse than what we had seen prior before. And it's like, fam, you would think that, okay, 2004 graphics, Rockstar Games, small company, probably didn't have all the money and, time to really sit down and come out with a good game. So you mean to tell me 18 years later, you guys still couldn't do it? No, bruh. I'm sorry, but I'm like, no, Rockstar Games, I'm like, I'm sorry, but you guys, that ain't gonna work. I'm like, I feel like fans really need to start looking at these video game developers and these companies and, taking them accountable for when they're coming out with games and they're not good. And I'm like, fam, you guys could have just, what they overall could have done to, really, to hire those people that be doing videos, because they were showing, like, some fans that actually did do that, right? Where it was like, they copied things, building for building, car for car, character for character, all that stuff, and it looked amazing. Whoever those people were, I'm like, no, you guys really did something good with Grand Theft Auto, something that Rockstar Games couldn't have done. And the crazy thing about it is that when Rockstar Games had seen that, they started copyright striking those people and had it where they had to take their mods down. And I'm like, well, they're having it where you can literally download that mod for free, like a mod that makes characters look more defined, makes it look, because there's people that were taking Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and they would like change up the graphics and stuff to where it looked like you was playing in Grand Theft Auto 5. And these are just random people across the world that are giving these DLCs out for free. Meanwhile, Rockstar Games wants you to pay for, or not DLC, but a mod, but they're wanting you to pay for their quote-unquote mod, whatever you want to, it wasn't even a mod, I mean, it was a game, but overall, they wanted you to pay for their version, and it wasn't even that good. I'm like, it's stuff like that where it's like, how do you guys expect, I honestly, I think, when Grand Theft Auto 6, when it comes out, if that game bombs, I honestly don't see Rockstar Games recovering, and I think they're gonna be in another line of like 2K, where every game that they release just bad ratings. Same with 2K. It's like you guys are coming out with the same game like every year, and you're not changing nothing. And it's like, fam, there's probably people out there where if you had gave them the option to actually mod 2K and and I think that's what a lot of people, because that's what people are doing with Grand Theft Auto right now. They're having it where they play with mods, because the base game and what Rockstar Games is doing to it ain't worth playing. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. So if you do decide to get a gaming PC, and then you do decide to get Grand Theft Auto 5, yeah, then play with mods, because that's the route to go down versus what Rockstar Games is going to be offering. And that's like that with a lot of different games. You just got to play with mods. And, you know, because I feel like fans, when they release mods, I mean, if you look at stuff that gets released on Steam, you know, there's this one game where it ain't like it's no remake or anything, but there's this game called Distance, and it's this racing game. When you see the amount of like hard work people put into making those mods, and the fact that they're making it for free, they're just only doing it just for clout. They're putting this time, hard work, and effort. Same with this one game called Wreckfest. There was somebody that had put Rainbow Road from Mario Kart in that game, and it was like somebody really went through this time and effort to release this. They're not making no money. The only thing that they're gaining from it is clout. That's it. It just probably, yeah, they're gonna most likely, if they create a YouTube channel and they're all like, oh, how I created Mario or Rainbow Road in Wreckfest, and it's like, yeah, it's gonna most likely be a somewhat viral video, and it's same like that with everybody else. So it's really, at the end of the day, the people that need to be developing these games are the modders, people that are modding the game. I mean, modding it for good and not modding it for bad. Like, you know, you got like the people in Call of Duty where they're modding the games and overall just trying to, you know, be good at it. And I'm like, yeah, to those guys, I'm like, nah, y'all suck, you guys are trash. But like, no, to the people that's like modding games to like make the graphics look better, to make the experience better for players and all that stuff, that's who needs to be behind these games. But not who you guys, not with these developers, what they got going on. Because I'm like, I feel like that video game developers today do not care about the fans. They care about the amount of money the fans are giving them, but they don't care about the fans. So, but anyways, yeah, that's overall all the stuff that I had to say about that and things. You know, I feel like there's gonna probably be a video game developer that'll hear this and be like, well, I disagree with what you're saying. And I'm like, go ahead and disagree with it, but I guarantee and I promise you there's gonna be a crap ton of fans that don't disagree with what I say. I bet if you guys went back to the good old-fashioned traditional way of releasing games, where it's like, you got one time to release this game. Look, that's why you'll see games like, and it's a game that I haven't played, but it's a game where I heard a lot of good things about it, but Elden Rings. I haven't heard them have, like, no issue. Let's just look up the ratings for that game. Elden Ring currency. I didn't know. 9 out of 10 on Steam. 96% of Metacritic, and 93% like this game of the like Google users and stuff. And this game came out this year. So let's see, out of the 409,000 reviews, this game got a very positive rating. I'm surprised it doesn't have an overwhelmingly positive rating, but no, let's overall product received for free. It ruined my life and I have no one to talk to. 10/10. Somebody just said, yes, fun. They nerfed everything I loved. Oh, so yeah, you got stuff like that. Lost HP for hugging a woman. Wait, first me trash, then me go get gut. Now me Elden Lord ×2 DLC win. And they haven't even came out with no DLCs. That's the crazy thing about it. I wish they would have like a thing where they would show you let's see, there was like March, it had like a mostly negatives. Oh, okay, so yeah, let's see some of the negative ratings and stuff. But this is like stuff that's going back in like March. Like now, it's crazy. You don't even see like no negative ratings now in the game. And it was like when the game originally released, but they did fix it. And they had it where it was like there ain't even no DLCs that came out with the game. It's just the one initial thing to buy. Oh, they have like a deluxe edition. I wonder what the deluxe edition is. They don't even like show or anything. Wait, no, okay, deluxe edition. So full game, digital art book plus soundtrack. Oh, so like it ain't like you're just getting a like for the art and stuff and for the soundtrack and things. So I feel like that's to, you know, overall support and stuff, but they're like, no, you're paying, you know, this day and age price. So it's $59.99 for the game itself, and then $79.99. So they're all like, no, whatever, you know, you're wanting in this game, it's in the game. It's like you don't have to pay for no extra stuff, no extra DLCs, none of that. And they haven't even released the DLC. and the game is like, and it's games like that where it's like, why don't everybody do stuff like that? But yeah, it's like a lot of the ratings were or bad ratings came out was when this game originally released, but it seemed like in May or June. Yeah, I think it was like June. That's when the bad ratings had stopped, and then yeah, it's like everybody's just giving it good ratings now. So it's crazy, honestly. Oh, wait a second. No, this game's getting bad ratings now. So there, I played a little late. Let's just see. This is something from today. Wow, for all the hype, the actual gameplay is awful. Clearly not the game for me. Well, yeah, I feel like that's the main reason why I didn't play Elden Ring, is because I knew that game was going to be difficult. So I think, yeah, there's just people out there where there's like 3 people found this review funny because they was like, yeah, most likely he played this game thinking like, oh, it's easy, I could put this on the easy. No, you can play Elden Ring on the easiest difficulty. It's not going to change nothing. The game is still going to be hard and stuff. They're like, co-op is trash, only buy this game if you're soloing the game. I don't have an issue with that. I'm like, that's the thing. I think a lot of people don't realize that not every game, I think, and that's another thing, I think they're just making way too many multiplayer games and stuff, trying to make every game online only. And I think that's why Elden Ring, another reason why it did good, because it's like, yeah, you have an online mode, you can play co-op with people and stuff, but it's the real fun is playing it by yourself and trying to like understand like, how to play a game like that by yourself. I feel like Elden Ring is a game that'll definitely make you better at other games and stuff. But person said what they played this game for over 1,000 hours and they said not enough things to do, got bored. They're trolling. They have to be trolling. Somebody said after playing this game for 355 hours, they said stupid, explicit word, they don't show it on Steam, but stupid game, my final FS game, suffering pain. I played DS1 through 3, Bloodborne, and Sekiro, whatever that game is. Won't buy any games of FS again. And then another person, after 25 hours of playing it, they said, I'll be frank, yes, you could beat this game with an extreme amount of skills and limited tools. No, it's not fun, nor is it recommended, and I don't even know what that is, what word that is. The fan base makes playing with anything more than a dagger embarrassing, and playing with the dagger is absolutely exhausting. I'll play the game however I want to play the game. It's the thing is this. That's one thing I feel like, just kind of giving my advice out to gamers. However you play the game, whether you want to play the game on the easiest difficulty, use the greatest weapon in the game of all time, or use the fastest car in a racing game, or use LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, whoever, the greatest of the greatest in basketball, football, soccer, you want to do that stuff. You bought the game. You're allowed to do whatever you want to do with the game and stuff. So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 43 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you are purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.